Well, there we go. That's it. That's it for DS Wario Stadium, folks. What is going on? We had a hard cut on the music, but we've got a lot of softness here in the form of emotions of love and support. Folks, I am Josh, and I am joined here by my two good friends, BoZ and Zen here, famously of Geekswag. Of course, they don't need any introduction, but guys, how you doing today?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, pretty swell. Pretty swell myself. Thank you again. Thank you again so
Absolutely.
much, Josh.
Yeah, well, it's my pleasure. I think there have been threats of a Geek Swag album on the horizon for a long time here, so it's nice to finally get you guys on the show to digest what you've offered to the world. Of course, apologies for last week and you know not being able to do it when the iron was hot, but yeah, that's just the way we roll sometimes. We're here to make it good and to share your music again with everybody. I hear that the album has been well received so far. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we've been really, really excited to put music out for a while, and we've been doing this music stuff together for quite a while, but we weren't able to get stuff out there, like any recordings out there outside of like our SoundCloud. So, we were really excited to do it, and then we received a lot of positive feedback from our Swag Fam community and our listener base, and then also, we have like a Spotify artist page now, and it's cool to see like how the algorithm brings in plays versus how people can click into your page and find you that way. And, we have more listens than we expected already. And also, like, it shows you a map of different regions around the world that have checked you out. And, like, it's really cool to see that we actually have people listening and streaming our music around the globe. So it's kind of nuts.
It is kind of nice for because Geekswag was a concept that started such a long time ago that even when we were doing like writtens back in like college era Geekswag, we didn't really have a place for people to go and experience the music on a recorded level, and
It was
everyone
just
was
it
like,
was
"Oh,
on your
where can you
person
go?"
at
And
all
eventually it
times.
was like, "Well, we have a couple songs on SoundCloud. They're just instrumentals, though." And it was I don't know. It feels like kind of a nice, refreshing new chapter to say, "Hey, if you've been to one of our concerts, or if you've been to one of our gaming streams, or if we met you at Magfest, like here's where you can find music officially now." And I think it's a nice change. And same as Boz said, like I'm pretty happy to see that people are enjoying it and playing it, and even people that we haven't met yet, and that seems I don't know, it seems almost surreal, even though it's
Yeah.
success at a minor level. It's really cool to just see people enjoying geeky stuff because that's what we really love to see.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed.
That's beautifully said. And I do want to ask a little bit about the genesis of Geek Swag because you did make that sound like it's been a bit of a journey. I'm sure a lot of people in chat are familiar with it. I don't think I've ever heard the story of where you two kick things off. So do you want to talk a little bit to that?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So, we met through the music scene at Northeastern in like I want to say like 2011, 2012 maybe. I think it
Mm.
was probably the fall of 2011. And we were both in a cappella groups at the time. We were both, sophomores trying to recruit people for our groups, and Zen had a Mario shirt on. And then, we were instantly just like, yo, I've seen you around, like, yo, you like games, like, oh shoot, you like music, you want to hang out. And we were just like instantly like super close friends into the same stuff, like playing Smash 64 constantly, like hanging out, talking music, making music. And then I had done like a little bit of like writing and rapping with like my friends in high school and just like people here and there. And I had always thought it would be really cool to like rap about video games in like over video game beats. And so then I was talking to Zen about it, and then we were just like, yo, we should do this together. Zen's got an amazing voice. I was a huge fan of his singing and like his solo stuff at the time, and like so it was really, we just kind of like hit it. But like at that point we had a few songs written, but we didn't have like that much going on. We were kind of like more of a passive thing. Like we would, sample something ourselves and like just do it up in our free time. But then I don't know, after graduating and stuff, at some point Nudge kind of gave us a push to start doing shows on Twitch and start streaming,
so to speak.
Yeah, Nudge nudged us. Exactly. and so once we started doing that, which was like, mind you, like 6-7 years after we like became friends and started like casually doing Geekswag, once we started like performing for an audience, like it just really like started to take off. We wrote a bunch of new songs. We would start doing virtual concerts on our Twitch channel like every month, every other month. Started, doing various things here and there, and then slowly but surely getting cooler and cooler Twitch opportunities during the pandemic. And now we're at a point where we have an awesome swag fam representing, and we got music out there too. It's really exciting.
Nice. Zen, anything to add to that? Any dirt from BoZ's
No, I
past
just think there's something. No, I think I mean, one of the first things that clicked with me and Bijou is that like he had all the games that I like didn't have in my N64 collection. So there's something where it's just like, and I'm pretty sure I had some games that he didn't have. So there's something that kind of meshed where it's like, our N64s complete one another. And in a way, so did our friendship.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I mean, at the very beginning, it was a unique concept because I at the time was in a cappella, so I knew like I'm a background in like classic rock and like pop music, and here was BoZ being like, "Yo, video game hip hop," and I was like, I don't think I rap at all, and but like I guess there's rooms for like hooks in hip hop, and so like I started listening to a little bit more stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, so it's pretty cool how you can make a song like this and turn it into something melodic and something with like a cool harmonic idea. And so it's kind of started to click into place. Like there are steps that the creative process has to go through, just like, okay, what is my role? What is your role? How can we kind of prop each other's talents up instead of kind of like combating them?
Yeah.
And then when it came to the music aspect of things, we were like, we both love video game music. How do we take that and make music out of it? So there are different options. There's like, oh, you can cover it with your own instruments. You can take a blip, like a sample, since like video game music and the legality of using so is still, for some reason, such an ambiguous fog. And when you run into different people, they'll have different interpretations of how you can use this music and what you can or cannot do explicitly. So like even seeking out advice from other practice musicians was a challenge. So that's what led us to things like MagFest, where it's like, okay, these guys are pros. We go to your show, it's fantastic. How do you make it work? How do you make it legal? Like, what are the steps on getting someplace like here?
Oh man, Zen and I
So-
Zen and I went to so many panels at MagFest and like taking notes and stuff. Like, like literally, no, we were literally like those people in the front row with the notebooks. Like it is pretty great.
And Nudge is right. We were like, should we get a lawyer? Like a contractual video game lawyer. So there were steps. I mean, back in the college era, at the earliest points, we were taking either just the raw video game music and putting like beats underneath. We were taking either like 4-bar blips and then messing with them. I was taking similar songs and splicing them into the same key and BPM and trying to make something new. So it was a trial and error for sure. And even today, we're kind of still figuring out what we can do and how we can do it the best. And I think this release is kind of the first step in saying, hey, we have an idea of how we can do this properly. We've built a foundation of wonderful, wonderful nerds who are all fantastic people, and I don't think any of it would be possible without them just kind of continuously hyping up the things that we love to do. So, yeah, I'd say we've come a long way, and we have a long way to go still.
Yeah, awesome. Well, you guys have released an incredible release, an awesome album, sweet beats, good rhymes, good tunes. What say we dig into our first track here?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. This is Geekswag's first track, numero uno, off of their debut album, Prologue. This is Coffee. Enjoy.
Thou art I. I'll take your heart if I just take my time. The Skull Kid with the Brown Panther vibe will hit you with Aegon and Agi Dine. I got Kawakami dry my laundry every night. Kamoshida knows I could drop him in a fight. Don't mess with the thieves, the tether a bee. We do this for the people, the espers and queen. Morgana and me, sipping coffee, sitting around the table talking about the things that taught me to slow down, listen to myself. You had a battle all my shadows, moments of we as phantoms and thieves. I hope I'm ready, cause if I'm not, I think that we might be dead already, yeah. I'm wildin' out my mind like Zagi, island in the sky, my angel's getting rocky. Puff cloud strife till my life gets foggy. Or was it just Adachi getting handsy in the lobby with Izanami? Remember Toonami back in the day with Code Lyoko? I lead a Vegeta and Frieza all weaker than Goku. Believe in my drill, communist skill. My lonely Yoko is singing until they cross me up like Chrono. Yukari and me, sipping coffee, sitting around the table talking about the things that brought me to this place, this tower. Long nights, dark hours, where have we gone? Who's singing this song? He said he's Teddy, and without him I think that we might be dead already, yeah. I am thou, and thou art I. From Yaso to Shujin to Gecko Con High, Elizabeth searching through that maze of life. She's packing more heat than a Glock from Iwai. Labris is savage when she goes in beast mode, but we can box with the best. Akihiko, I'll burn my dread if I can turn undead. Wait, that's DND, but we're SEES. Morgana and me, sipping coffee, sitting around the table talking about the things that taught me to slow down, listen to myself. You had a battle all my shadows, moments of we as phantoms and thieves. I hope I'm ready, cause if I'm not, I think that we might be dead already, yeah.
Well, that's I think, like, for a first track, you folks made a really good, strong choice. It's very representative of the chill vibe that you guys have going on. It's not like, you know, it's not like coming in, blah, air horns and all that shit, right? It's just like, no, this is who we are. Just lay back and chill, and we'll get there. And of course, yes, it's Persona. So Nudge came Melbone is throwing it off in chat there.
Heck yes.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Does
dude.
she like Persona?
Yeah, I think she might.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, like, I think about what you guys do, and of course I've seen you perform several times. I know that you've got more than 6 tracks. What was it like to select the songs that you would put on this first release?
Oh, yo, so part of what was fun about it is all 6 of these beats are produced by DJ Cutman. So we thought, you know, he's been. I mean, he's awesome. We learned a lot from his panels. We've jammed a lot over tons of his tracks, and so, you know, we reached out to him a while back actually, and asked about, you know, could we potentially do something like this, and he was super supportive and all for it. So, you know, over past couple of years, we wrote a few songs over his beats, and then when we had enough, we got cracking on it, you know. And yeah, this one's actually one of our older ones too. We wrote this very early on after we started streaming, which is exciting.
Nice. Oh, is it the oldest one on the album then?
You know, I think it is. I think
It might
three
be.
of them three of them came from around the same time, or like four of them, but I think Coffee might actually be the first.
Well, once we got the opportunity and the like in-person permission from Chris at Magfest,
Mm-hmm.
we were kind of anxious to get started. We're like, okay, we have permission to do this.
Yeah.
Let's pick a couple of songs that he's okayed and run with it. And so it
Yeah.
was at that point where we did like boom, boom, boom. Like I think it was two or three in a row.
Yeah.
Because we were just so excited to hop on our first opportunity, and talking with another professional and getting the good to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's two or three on this album that are all relatively old, but
Mm.
it's also kind of nice because it was the beginning of what we wanted our new sound to develop into, which wasn't something like air horns, like air, like
Yeah,
we
right.
wanted it to be we wanted it to be uh, nice to listen to, and give a taste of more to come. But we also have other styles throughout the album, so it keeps it fun. It keeps you on your toes, and
Yeah. To
I think it's a good way to start.
to your point earlier too, like you know, kind of giving a taste of like our style as it's developing in its early stages throughout what it is more so now. That's kind of part of why the album's called Prologue. Is, you know, these songs span like a pretty wide period of time, and it's kind of like us finding our voices to an extent. And so it's cool to, you know, be there, and I'm really excited for future things too on it.
I love that. I love that's like okay, like yeah, Prologue, like it in theory, like on paper, it looks like yeah, okay, that's our first album title. Bam, we don't have to think about it anymore. But that you're actually saying something with it, that these songs were carried forward from a pretty long time ago from the sounds of things. Do you
Yeah.
feel like the song Coffee, do you feel like that has that has developed a lot since you guys first laid it down?
I think so. I think, you know, listening, because we had like early vocal demos of this song and a couple others on our SoundCloud before, and like those were recorded from right around when we made them, and you can tell not just in like the mixing, but also just in our delivery. Like we sound more. In my opinion, I feel like we sound more present in our current stuff. Like we're it feels a little more organic. It's not it feels more like us as well, in my opinion, right?
Right.
And also something that's cool about this one too is I remember Cutman actually tweeted a clip from us doing this song live shortly after like that period of time, and then we kind of rode that wave and like retooled a couple of things in the track too, tightened it up a little bit, and yeah, I think it's definitely come a long way. These earlier songs, I don't know, Zen, I don't know if you've ever go back to like the old concerts and watch, but like it's crazy how it's changed, you know what I mean?
Called living and learning, my friend.
Yeah, amen, right? Hanging on the edge to tomorrow.
Yeah, and usually for we mentioned Persona before. Persona was just one of those games where when we first started Geekswag, like I hadn't played a Persona game, so it almost became I got all like pumped all the time because when it came to writing a new song over a particular beat, I always want to like I need to know what the game's about. I want my themes vocally to kind of reflect either a plot or some sort of thematic reference to the original content. So I ended up just watching BoZ play like hours and hours and hours and hours of like I think both P3 and P4.
Yeah.
And so so I was like, okay, these games are what like finding your true self. So I was like, okay, I need some sort of like eclectic way to represent like opening up yourself and finding yourself within. So I was like, oh, a great way to do that is like a heart to heart over a cup of coffee. So then I started thinking about like taking some of these characters from these games, and there's so many good characters in these games. It's hard to pick. But we got a P4 representative and a P3 representative, and I threw them in the hooks and went from there. And I learned that it pays off to know the material that you're working from.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Instead of just like being like, the song's dope, let's do this, and like not really knowing anything about it. So part of this whole music writing journey has also gotten me to play so many new games.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's a continuation of, yes, another thing I love. I love the video game music, and I also love playing all these different video games. So yeah, it's all part of the fun.
Yeah, I really like what that does for our sound too, right? Like I always appreciate that when like we try to keep our stuff relevant to the mood, the themes, and like the actual characters and like references of the source material. I think I really like that commitment to it. You know what I mean? It helps make it feel a little more cohesive for me. We definitely, I know for my verses, like for the first one and the third one are almost completely just Persona references, and I tried to cram a bunch of them in there. And then the second one, still got like a Persona throughway, talking about Fog and Adachi and stuff, but then also like shouting out some anime, shouting out some other RPGs, trying to bring it out there, kind of hitting the themes, kind of hitting the mood of it. And this one's a super fun one.
Nice. Yeah, I personally, in an artistic way, I love that, making connections here and there and just try to, paint something that is larger than the material that you're working with. That's always lots of fun and fulfilling creatively. I love that.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Shall we listen to yet another track?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Nice. What do we got coming up here? What's the next track?
Hunter.
Oh, this is going to be fire, guys. This one, you could throw some air horns on this one, and it would be very fitting. So we're gonna get hyped here, folks. This is Hunter. Let's listen.
Another hunter with no identity, a mask on so that nobody knows me. It pays the bills, but hey, it can't get real. Sometimes I can feel so low, only I can get low, only nobody knows me. So we can get real lonely.
Bounty hunter raking up the cash in a heap. Got a gun armed for peace, call me Bash the Stampede. You can get mad, Craig Nash on your teeth, cause we spittin' heat stemming from the swag of the geeks. Hotter than a cup of coffee from Godot, and Natsu's rage hearing Gray's voice chose Zoe. Endeavor when he's screaming at the boy Shoto, and that tin tower bird from Johto. Ho, whoa.
Red soil, thinking life's not fair, but the heat burns the fear down in warfare. Anonymity, another hunter with no identity, a mask on so that nobody knows me. Pays the bills, but hey, can't get real. Yeah, sometimes I can feel so low, only I can get low, only nobody knows me. So we can get real lonely.
Dang. Yeah, that one's about Zen's cat.
That's right.
That is very true. That is very true.
Well, we were just saying backstage how Zen just recently got a new cat, and you know, totally serendipitously named it Hunter, not after the song or anything.
No, not after the song at all. I didn't even realize until we were doing our show. What was that, like 2 weeks ago or something? And
Yeah.
just realized it then. I don't know. It just seems like a fitting name.
It's a great name for a cat. Yeah, definitely. It's a great name for a song. Yeah, and I think you, like, you know, in that short space of time, you definitely just totally made that that vibe of being Samus, of being the hunter, so to speak.
Yeah.
And like those themes of like isolation, you know, like especially like Super Metroid, and you know, just feeling like you're down there by yourself, you got nothing to help you, and you're on a mission. You gotta make it work. So I want to ask, because you did mention earlier how your video game collections mesh together. Which one of you is the bigger Metroid nerd?
Ooh, tough call. I would say
I've
Zen is
played-
better at Metroidvania games than me by no stretch. Like,
I'm
definitely.
a much bigger Castlevania fan. So when it came to doing a Metroid track, I sat down and played Super Metroid for the first time.
Mhm.
And it's pretty similar to a Castlevania game. So it's right up my alley in terms of like genre.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I feel like BoZ has also played maybe a Prime or two, and like I'm just forgetting. But I don't know. This is one of those instances where it's like both of us. That's because it was a Huskizy request.
Well, yeah, even before we had channel point requests on our Twitch channel, one of our friends was like, "You gotta do a Metroid track. You gotta do a Metroid track."
Yeah.
And we were just like,
And we love our friends, and so
It's
we have
true.
lives.
It's true. We do love our friends. Yeah, no, this one was super fun, right? So like, yeah, I've played Super Metroid. I played a little bit of Prime and Prime 3 back on GameCube. And like, but outside of that, like I've watched a lot of like YouTube videos about Metroid. I watched a lot in, you know, doing research for this track. But then also one of my, actually, I'm not even going to say one of my favorite artist of all time is
That's what I was going to mention.
Samus.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to mention most of our material, or I'd rather, inspiration rather, came from one of Samus's albums, which is an
Yeah.
entire Metroid concept album.
Yeah.
And like start to finish, it's absolute gold.
It's so
So like, you know,
so-
put that in your car and put that CD on. Yes, I have CDs in my car. Whatever.
That's what cars
I
play.
put it
these
on
days,
my
right?
on
Yeah.
my 6 CD rotator.
In the trunk.
and, you know-
Oh yeah.
and just listen to it a bunch of times, and like, oh, she's still one of, I'd say, one of our favorite like nerd rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your favorite,
she-
one of your
she's
favorite
undeniable.
hip hop VGM rappers.
So after listening and falling in love with that album, we were like, this is great source material to work with, and now we realize like just how badass Samus is.
It's
Both the
level.
artist and the character, you know, both of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, taking that as inspiration, it was really fun. And
This was another one where it was cool to like infuse like Metroid references, but then also referencing like other badass hunters and other like fiery characters, because Norfair is like a super fire, like heat, like lava level and all that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's cool. Like we got like Natsu, Ho-Oh, Endeavor, like all these like fiery characters, and then Vash the Stampede, the bounty hunter, and like all sorts of cool stuff. I guess he was more like a hunted bounty, but a little bit of both.
and I was just
They're
going
in the
for
same hood.
Yeah.
I was just going for the I'm a bounty hunter and I'm just so alone. Sometimes the hooks end up being a little more introspective than I would like.
I think that works out, actually, to be honest.
You gotta rap, and you gotta sing what you know, right? So
Exactly.
Zen, if you need a hug, bro, you know we're here for you.
No, I got a cat.
All right, there you go. Yeah. I don't need human
stream.
interaction. I've got a cat. Oh god.
So I'm not low only anymore.
Oh man. Well, I mean, if that's what cats, if cats aren't good for that, then what do we have them around for?
Cats are people too.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sadness, the next track has nothing to do with that at all. But I think it does have something to do with cats and other fun animals.
Okay, true.
Oh, sounding more familiar.
Just trying to do my natural segue.
It was good.
Here.
It was good.
But you know, sadness and isolation. But on your island, you know, there's no place for sadness. There's only place for cats and other joyful critters. Yeah, should we just dig into it?
We should
do it.
All right, folks. This is an Animal Crossing track, and it's called My Island. Here we go. Let's listen.
Just pour a little water on the top and pull a few weeds from getting to the crops. Welcome to my island. I made it for me and you. Oh la 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 la.
I'm living in a tent cause my bells are all spent. I might have some debt, but at least I don't gotta pay rent. I will sell some fish and bugs, get myself a citrus rug, hang with Tank while he brags about getting his fitness up. Man, it's fine, I'm just vibing to my KK slider air check. Gyroid by my side, I need to buy a better tape deck. Record player in my lair, Abel Taylor, custom flair. I'd be a better mayor, but I ain't seeing a paycheck.
Welcome to my island. I made it for me and you. Oh la 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 la. So what you wanna do? Oh la 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 la. We can stroll around the corner, meet the neighbors, grow a peach tree and make that paper. Yeah, we could go downtown and meet Nook, that old crook. He's probably kidnapping children, all to finance his buildings. Welcome to my island. I made it for me and you.
All right, so we saw lots of people in chat requesting the La 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 Paycheck version. So we're going to do that live, I think, right? That's what we all suddenly agreed to. So I'll just lay down a little track here. I'll just go like...
I can't hear you, my friends.
I can't hear you either. You're covering your...
La 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 spent la 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 debt la 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 rent la 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 fish and bugs la 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 citrus rug la 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 fitness up la 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 KK slider air check la 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 I gotta buy a better tape deck la 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 paycheck. Welcome to my island.
You don't even need me anymore.
Yo,
Dang.
bro, I got
good.
the la la la's covered, man.
You're good.
All right. I think my noise gate was blocking out all of my plosives.
Oh, dude,
Sorry,
it'd
guys.
be like that. It'd be like that.
Yeah, those
Noise
darn
gate is
algorithms, you know?
Beatboxer's worst frenemy.
Just holding us
Yeah.
back.
Mm.
Well, yeah, well that's the real version there, right? That came about as some streaming fun, I take it.
Yeah, basically, you know, at the end of a virtual concert, depending on how much extra time we got, Sometimes we'll do something silly depending on what chat asks for. And a lot of the time they ask for us to do our songs at like 2x speed or 0.5 speed. And so when we do them really fast, sometimes you can't say all the words. So I think we were doing My Island super fast, and I just did la 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 and some end rhymes. And then la 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 paycheck became a huge thing.
La 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 keyword.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, back in the day, we didn't have enough songs to fill a whole, you know.
It's true. It's
like,
true.
I was gonna say 2-hour stream, but like even hour stream, you know.
Yeah,
like an hour full of music. That's a couple of songs. And you,
at least 2 songs.
So when it came to finishing some of our like virtual concerts, we just do fun stuff because it's just, what is a concert but a bunch of friends hanging out. And so we had fun with it, and so we'd do goofy things for people that would like stay throughout the concert and stay late on, maybe it's a Sunday night and it's like thanks for staying up till like 10 o'clock on a Sunday. We know we all have jobs, like let's get a little weird and start the week right. So we'd do fun things like double speed songs, replace all of our words with laws, or sprinkle a little profanity everywhere and see how much trouble we get in, and it was fantastic, and it helped grow the community, and
we're very normal.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it's very normal. Yeah, very normal. All the time. Normality is our middle name.
Oh yeah.
Geek Normality Swag.
Swag. Yeah, that's the actual legal name of the band.
I expect your follow-up album to be called Normality now.
Oh, you beat me to it. I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, dang. Oh. Hey, what, you looking for a third? Oh, no. Let's... Oh, my God. Well, Animal Crossing. Yeah. I've never played a single Animal Crossing game. I also just, I have to say it before I forget it, but like Zen, when you're like, I made it for me, I just picture it ending right there. Like the island, I made it for me.
No. If I didn't make islands for other people as well, I wouldn't be able to steal their trash.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's why I need other people around. No, I mean, I think the whole entire there were a couple of things going through my mind when it came to the concept of the song. One was some of our community members are parents, and so I kind of wanted a song like how the Beatles did like Yellow Submarine, and they're like, this is a kid's song, and it's a song that you can sing with really anybody, and it's done purposefully. You know what I mean? That's why there are like little la la las. That's why there are like funny little lyrics, instead of like taking myself too seriously, being like, oh yeah, like New Horizons helped me build friendships, or like be too serious about it. I wanted something very fun that kids would like.
I like that. We also we were putting this one together like right before that game came out, which was really cool too, because there was a ton of hype for it. Right near the start of the pandemic. It was kind of itching for some good vibes, some feel good Animal Crossing vibes up in this track.
And that is the more serious side of the song's concept, is that like, it hit right when the pandemic hit, and so a lot of people can only hang out on our islands. Quite literally, like, I can't see you, but like we can go to this spot that's for both of us, for me and you, and like and that's our only option. So there's a light side and a dark side.
Oh man. But the light side, like you said, like it feels like the light side is the thing that becomes a little bit more timeless. It's the little more like the thing that you can share with anybody, and just kind of like carries it forward, instead of like, oh yeah, Animal Crossing, shit, when everybody got super depressed and we could only like connect through this minimal interface on this Animal Crossing game. No, people don't like people want to remember the good times and the positivity, and I definitely think you guys captured that in that track.
Thanks.
And if you know, you do listen to the My Island song and you say, "Oh man, I remember when I was like that lonely," then you just, you know, go back one song and listen to Hunter, and you can, you know, sing about loneliness. But then it'll
Bing
bring
bang
you
boom.
right back to My Island, which will remind you once again, it's that you're not alone. It's a vicious cycle. You know?
Oh man, Bruno's in chat and making me crack up with "Welcome to my Zoom call."
Oh my god. Yo, Hunter.
He was eating these wires, man. I just gotta watch him for a little bit.
So cute. So cute. He's so small.
Oh man, Hunter's adorable. Yeah, we've got another adorable thing as the theme of our next track. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, this next one is a Kirby track. It's called Poyo, the adorable sound, the adorable mascot, you know, constantly makes. And yeah, no, this one, shout outs to David Piano for saving up enough channel points on the Swag Fam Twitch channel to redeem a Kirby track. That's what the origin of this one was. So hope you all dig it.
Nice, and you especially, David Piano. Folks, this is Poyo. Enjoy. Yo.
I'll turn the enemies I've made into my friends. I'll convince them eyes to reconsider Zen. I heard Geekswag is greater than the ancients. They'd prove me wrong, but I ain't even got the patience.
Simple, but I got heart. Said goodbye to pop star. Cuter than a mock car, but I'm finna drop marks. Yo, hit him with the rock spark. Homegrown like the void, turning up but not dark. Grant more wishes than a clock star. Living where the gods are, nibbling a Pop-Tart. Never tell me what the odds are. Clever, but I'm not Han. Luck is just my hallmark.
Every little bit of me just takes to eat you. I could do it maybe blindfolded like Riku. Speaking of the kingdom, was it only all a dream? I've landed in a nightmare, won't you tell me what it means?
I don't know, check the pause screen. Take a hint, it's a lore cut, a star dream. What'll do, you're a fool with the charge beam. Zan partisan wants a spark, Kaminari. Love a matter most dark, Tokoyami. Make a friend like your junior bro Poppy. Seal him up in the mirror force Yanni. Not to be snobby, I just can't be copied. First game I ever slayed was Kirby. No fame, but gotta say, I'm dirty. Rep game since I was 8. Assuredly still play like every day. At 30, greens to Jam Bastion. I keep on eating, sleeping, relaxing. The meat can't beat back the geek passion that's beneath that mask, so get cracking.
Breathe in, say Poyo to the past. Breathe out, say Poyo to the future. Breathe in, yell Poyo, make it last. Spread good karma, get it back.
From greens to Jam Bastion, we keep eating, sleeping, relaxing. The meat can't beat back the geek passion that's beneath that mask, so keep swagging.
Nice. Oh man, you know, I gotta commend you for rapping over a Kirby song, because you know, like the soundtracks to Kirby games, at least classic Kirby games, they're like so busy and so chaotic. You know, and they go all over the place. The instrumentals are yeah, like I said, very busy, and so you know, like total props to DJ Cutman for like chilling that song out, and you know, you guys on top of that for bringing even more chill game to it. But BoZ, I believe I heard you say in that song that it was like one of the first games that you had ever played.
Yeah, actually. So Nudge had one of the like first Game Boys, right? And I would play Kirby's Dreamland on that like so much when I was like a small child. I would speed run that game. Like I swear to God, I would beat it, and then I would go to the final world. So where you fight King DDD, I would enter the battle and I would just listen to the music. I would pause it, listen to the music until I ran out the battery. Because the OG King DDD song is so good. But yeah, no, I mean, I love that game, and like obviously it's Kirby, and you know, very old school Kirby. He didn't even have copy abilities back then. And so it's just a very, very easy game. You could fly forever. You could, you know, you'd beat the game very easily, and I would just beat it over and over and over. So yeah, I've been a lifelong fan of the Kirby series from that one all the way up through the Forgotten Land, which is an absolute banger. Super good game.
I had a little bit less Kirby experience. I think the only Kirby games I had played at that point were Crystal Shards and Kirby's Dream Course. You know that weird golf one?
Heck
Weird
yeah.
golf one. I love Kirby's Dream Course.
I mean, other people say weird golf one. Yeah, I think it's a classic.
Then you don't need to say it. You don't need to perpetuate.
You're
that.
right. You're right. What am I saying?
Just let it go, Zen. It's not your baggage, man.
And then oh yeah, that's right. Sometimes I forget this is a Kirby game, but remember Epic Yarn?
No, we played that, dude.
Yeah, Epic Yarn. Yeah, that was I think that was a 2-player one too. Yeah. So
I was the blue yarn boy.
you know, it's an all right game. It's a Kirby game. It makes you feel good. That's what Kirby games are around for, you know?
Heck yeah.
I didn't have as much you know, like Kirby canon oh man, Hunter's going wild down here, but we'll just ignore him for now. I didn't have too much Kirby canon knowledge. So I took his like proclivity for breathing so much, and I was like, we can turn this into a yoga exercise. You know, breathe in, breathe out. It's all Kirby does. You know, let's make this happen. We can make it cathartic. You know, we can. So when I was grasping for Kirby ideas, that's one of the ones that I wanted to bring home. But beyond that, it's kind of BoZ that really nails the track. I don't know. I think it works together. And once again, it's a kind of a nice way that we can show off our ability to like give and take a little bit. You know, like here's a solid hip hop idea in this song. We're already working with a funky like Kirby beat. Let's see what we can do with it. And you know, then we have the nicer melodic sections, and I do some like kind of pop punk harmonies
Yeah.
to give it my own kind of strange stylistic twist.
No, dude,
and,
I love how your vocals go on this track. Like, cause you know, I was mentioning before, like before we were even like doing music together, I was a fan of the stuff that he was doing like around Northeastern. He would do a lot of like, you know, like open mic nights and like singer-songwriter like acoustic sets and stuff like that. He would do a ton of pop punk, and like dude's got a good penchant for it, you know what I mean? Like he's good at pop punk singing, and like I really like the fact that like we have a couple of different like vocal styles showcased in the hooks on this album. You know what I mean? Like there's some where he's all chill and you know, croony. There's some where he's like belting and going really hard. And then this one like comes through with that punk flair. Like even like from like the first like 3 notes, how he starts it. Like I'll turn my on turn, you can hear like that like little like drive, and it's like it's cool. It's cool. I really like how this one turned out.
Thanks, BoZ.
And like and yeah, it's one of actually it is the most recent of the songs that we wrote on this album. Poyo, we wrote it maybe like a month or 2 before we started recording for the album. I remember I didn't have the second verse in there when we went in to start recording it. I wrote it during the recording process. That's like right. 8 bars of it or something. And so like it was really coming together late, but it's cool because like yeah, you know, the different energies. There's the Kirby beat, there's the Cutman vibe, you got Zen on the pop punk vibe, and then I'm doing some hip hoppy stuff. It's like it's a cool happy go lucky mix, you know.
You're kind of forced to do different stylistic choices because of the very nature of how video game music is trying to be so much of a variety. throughout
yeah.
a game. You know, it's like you take a game like I'll just say this because I was playing it last night, Super Mario Odyssey, and take any of those stages, and they each emote such a different feel and sound, and there's different things you can do with it. So when we're taking these requests and going through song after song in any kind of soundtrack from a game, we have fun with it because we can almost choose what energy we want to go for depending on the song, depending on the game. It's like I said before, like it's all in good fun, and it's part of the reason we do it and why we love doing it. It's because the variety is there, and there'll never be a shortage of like new games or new sounds that we can use and have fun with. You know, changing up your style is really fun.
I agree, and like I really like what you were saying about how it changes up with the different games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey Hunter, so cute. Oh man, look at him. But shoot.
Sorry, just stop the show here. We're just gonna
the cat cam is real. Yeah. Oh man, no, but kind of like to your point, like capturing the different energy of those different games and like more specifically the tracks from those games. Like I love it when other artists do that, right? Like, you know, we mentioned like Samus does that really, really well. Like, you know, especially like on some of her features, she like jumps into like Castlevania characters. She'll, you know, rap from her own perspective, like stuff like that. Ran's really good at that, Mega Ran, you know, and like just being able to kind of like do that as much as possible on every track feels good. Yeah.
I am a sucker for assuming point of view from any character, because whenever I start the song, I'm just like, oh, it'd be cool if we were that person, you know. Let's how would that feel?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what happens when you get those like hooks or like those BoZ verses that are like kind of weirdly introspective, because you're like, yes, we are that person. Because I mean, part of it is video games' mission is to make it immersive, right? They want you to assume the identity of the character, and that's all, and that's kind of what it's all about. So it's fun to do that lyrically, because you can explore that a lot, and you know,
agreed completely. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, are we going to put ourselves in the perspective of some apes, because your next song is called Bananas?
Oh, we just might. Got some Donkey Kong Country coming up.
Oh, and yeah, I'm really glad that you guys did this specific instrumental too. I'm actually playing through Donkey Kong Country, and before anybody ats me in the chat,
which one?
The original one. On SNES, but I've never actually like played through and beaten a Donkey Kong game on my own, so I am doing that now.
That's awesome that you're doing it
on my Switch Online. So this is right in the vibe that I'm in right now. And this is Bananas. Bananas. Let's listen.
Must be bananas. Last time I was this deep, I got the worst case of bends ever in history. When I dive below into the depths, get so deep, lose sense of myself. I gotta push through like Rambi. Andy doesn't hesitate with his choices like Stanley. Mine cars and oceans of trees, sunshine and tropical freeze. I get a whiff of bananas on the breeze.
I beat my chest with pride the time I saw Senpai jamming out at MagFest with Dave Wise. A fiery furnace on the ghostly groove. I Candy Kong looking like a King K. Rool. IQ is cool and Kadesh can flow. Nerdcore Ninja slaying zingers like it's horn, it's hole and smack. Oh my damn, this is gold bananas. I needed my cut man, so I ran to Samus High.
I could be wrong, but my pally DK got enough soul for the whole Congo. Any day I can get value from replay. Down in my blood we play a slow rondo. Loopy lights and manicky nights, bad trips like Funky's last flight. What would I give just to go diving off the coast of Destiny Islands?
When I'm lost in a world of darkness, I just look left to the symbol on my arm. It's a glimmer of hope in abyss so arctic. It wakes me up like Espresso the ostrich. I got this. I'm not Loch Ness, more like Lockjaw. If you squawking in my locker, then on guard. A wink of sleep heals my rattled mind, so I'll go head first like Rambi the Rhino.
One hard fact is Disco Cactus got where they got on account of hard practice. I'll try, we'll get by, and everything will click like in time. Just you and me, oh it's a co-op. Some are bound to hate it, yes so what? Excuse me, I don't mean to brag. You know the crew, we go by Geekswag.
Well, chat went really off with that track. It sounds like there are several stories that need to be told around this track particularly. Where do you guys want to start?
I guess we'll start at MagFest like 2019, 2020. Yeah. I don't even know. Whichever year they had the Donkey Kong Country theme. That was the last one that we were at, and we went there, and then it was super great. We were super inspired. We saw a bunch of really awesome musicians and a lot of our new friends who we were making through Twitch and stuff. It was right after we had started performing a little bit and like having the Swag Fam channel and everything. And so, with the Donkey Kong Country theme on the main stage, they got David Wise, the composer for Donkey Kong Country and, all these other banging games, to perform. And so while he was doing his main stage set, our homie Doug Perry goes on stage to jam with Dave Wise and is like, oh shoot. And Dave Wise called Doug eye candy not once, but at least twice during that performance. All right.
Congratulations, Doug. Oh my God.
Yeah. And so we couldn't not shout that out in the verse. So, we say, I Candy Kong looking like a King K. Rool, because Doug looked like an absolute king jamming up there with Dave Wise. It was awesome, right? Nice. And so, we got the reference in there. But then what's cool is, later on in that verse is actually one of my favorite verses that I ever wrote, because I shout out a ton of other rappers in the scene over the course of like 4 bars. I do like, a handful of rappers, and it feels good. And then later in the track, we also shout out Disco Cactus. Zen's got an iconic line that you see in italics here and there in chats about Disco Cactus getting where they got.
Mention Doug Perry only once.
It's true.
Well, David Wise can't help it. Why could you? Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. We were super inspired after that MagFest, so we put together this this track.
I think Drum Ultima was the first person I ever followed on Twitch.
Oh, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
As soon as I came to the platform, I was like, this guy's good. And from there, it's just like,
Disco Cactus crushed it at MagFest that year too. Yeah. Main stage, kicking butt.
Yeah.
Shredding.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was kind of nice, and it's nice to take a group of games where I've actually played them, and so I can pick out a couple of references here and there. That's why I have like for like the first time ever, like Zen has 3 different verses instead of just doing like a hook or like doing like a hook, a bridge, a hook. I get to like actually keep it varied because
Mm.
you know, I played Donkey Kong Country 1, I played DKC 2, DKC 3. We won't talk about DKC 3 though.
Donkey Kong Country Returns and Tropical Freeze.
Yep, Returns and Tropical Freeze. That's right. Tropical Freeze I had to do twice, because you know, gotta beat the Wii U one and then see if the Switch one is any different. It's not really.
And you also beat it on my Switch.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I had a wealth of not knowledge about the games, but I just love the games. I love the games, and they're some of my favorite games. And so I finally felt like I could, like, you know, I'll tackle these 3 verses, you know. It'll be fun taking a bunch of references from these games that I love, a bunch of references from these people and musicians at MagFest that were so good, like, and just, poof, just throw them together. And you get banana pie, you know?
You get bananas, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. No, I agree totally, though. Like, the mix of, like real people, like real like IRL like themes, and then also like MagFest themes, and like also like tons of Donkey Kong references in that one. I dig this track a lot. Like, shouted out to like a ton of the animal buddies in my second verse, like Rambi the Rhino's all over the track. Yeah. Like, it's just, you know, it's good places to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is even before before the first game that I ever had and could play was Nudge's copy of Kirby's Dream Land, but like the first game I ever remember is Donkey Kong Country, because we'd visit one of my friends when we'd drive up to Canada to visit my aunt and uncle. We'd stop by in Syracuse at my friend's place, and he had a Super Nintendo, and it wasn't Forest Interlude, but Sticker Bush Symphony is like an iconic track that actually like was stuck in my head for like years and years after like those early memories. And I was just like, oh man, that's that one song that always gets stuck in my head. Like, I can never figure it out. And then like when I finally found the internet and found that song in like 4th, 5th grade, I was just like, oh my God, I can listen to this music whenever I want now. Yo, we can download it on Kazaa. Like, let's get it.
Wow. Rip in peace, Kazaa, Napster, all of those. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, I remember fondly the that era of the internet, and discovering how free everything could be. You know.
Oh yeah.
Bringing it back to what you were saying, Zen, about legalities and stuff like that. Oh my God.
Yes. LimeWire.
Oh God. Ugh. LimeWire was the hero that we deserved, not the one we needed.
Accurate.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. Well, that was yeah. Just exciting times. And you know, like, yeah, like being able to look up those things. You know, it was very inspiring. I think I learned guitar like around that era too, you know, just like from ear and what I would pick up, like mostly VGM, you know, back in those days, just being like, hell, I can listen to this whenever I want. I don't need to go over to my friend's house and play the game. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Right? It just kind of like
OP.
It's probably the reason why a lot of us are here. Gotta
You're not wrong.
There were some of those rare instances where you'd have like a computer game on a CD-ROM, and then when you put it in the MP3 player, like it was also all the track lists.
Mm-hmm.
Like
that was amazing. When
very
you would get that.
Rare indeed, yes. But always perfection when you discovered it. You know, so I'd take all my CDs that were video games that just like put them in, see if any of them are MP3s.
That's so funny.
But yes, the desperation to listen to VGM without actually having to play the game and get to a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, internet.
Heck yeah.
I remember the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 game like came with like the entire soundtrack as MP3, so I just put on my Zune or whatever knockoff MP3 player back in the day. God, what convenience that was. Now we don't even need to go that far, because we've got wonderful artists such as yourself, DJ Cutman, of course, many people in chat here who just do that stuff of their own volition and put it out there. It always sucks, but here we are. We are at the final track of your release here, and you know, this one's got a special place in my heart. Final Fantasy was definitely prominent in my early gaming life, and so I love what you guys have done with it, and
Thank you.
yeah, the track, specifically the instrumental, is also very dear to me. So thank you very much for that. But yeah, do you want to preface this last track with anything?
Yeah. So this one is Final Fantasy track, like you mentioned. It's called Kupo, and oh my God, hey Hunter, it's really special because, you know, we've got a huge group of friends who, you know, support our music on Twitch and will like get involved with like the crowd participation section we have at the end of this track. You know, everyone will be typing Kupo in all caps, you know, when we do a call and response thing at the end. And so we really wanted to replicate that vibe and like that energy that we've gotten from our community in this release. And I think what we came up with is pretty cool. And I mean, I don't want to spoil it for anyone who doesn't know, so we can break that down later.
Awesome. All right. Well, then here we are, folks. This is the last track on Geekswag's debut album, Prologue. This is Kupo. Let's listen. Oh.
Brings about the world's end, the goddess descends from the swag. Woke up in Mars Pass, hard pass, burned a few Marlboro lights. Am I a clavat, bold dat? Maybe the Black Knight, my hair is spiked and I got a big sword. My friend had a gun, now I'm in Damon's court. But where am I from? Midgar. I search for Devil arms with smarm. I keep an eye out like I'm Zigbar.
Feeling really small next to Goblin Wall, and when the moonlight falls just right, I can reread my diary and see what past lie behind me. Is it happenstance that my caravan make things all too clear? I didn't understand. I don't understand.
Yo. Under the striped apple tree, I grapple with dreams and pride, but I can't find my older memories. Guess I'll map a new path, but why can I recall my last fight when I died to soldier enemies? I don't have a clue who I am, grabbing artifacts and treasure like the Wu-Tai Clan. Dropping off the murk, picking up new companions. I walk around the earth and take them back to the canyon. I keep on picking up the murk. Kupo, I wanna see the whole wide world. Kupo, take me to Damon's court. Kupo, hunting don't bury like sport. Kupo, now don't forget the chalice. Kupo, and keep all your stats balanced. Kupo, did you achieve Zen? Kupo, and this is how it all ends.
That's how it all ends, folks. You heard it from the men themselves, and we've got a hype train going for Kupo. Thanks everybody for sending in your bits and your subs. That's really sweet. Oh, level 2. Thank you so much, everybody. There besides, you know, Twitch's stuff, there has been a lot of hype, I hear, for the Kupo track on streaming platforms as well.
Yeah, you know, we submitted My Island to Spotify to add to playlists, but I guess the algorithm kind of does its own thing. So Kupo got added to a few playlists, and like it is like 4 times listened to more than all of the other tracks on the album, which is really, really interesting. And yeah, oh, so you know, you see how chat was blowing up with all the Kupos, right? So basically what we did was on our Discord, we just put out an open thing like, hey, get out your phone, get out your DAW, whatever, record yourself saying Kupo in time and send it to us, and we'll comp them all and we'll, you know, try to get it to sound okay, toss some reverb on it, and then we'll simulate what we would get if we were actually doing it live. Because, like, honestly, like, you know, kind of bringing it back to, like, beginning what we were talking about, how it's kind of like, you know, us and our preliminary journey of, like, finding our voice and stuff. Coffee was one of the first tracks we wrote, and so we started there, and, you know, going through, like, this journey, and then by the end of it, we have, like, an audience. You know what I mean? And it's like a virtual audience, but, like, that's kind of the journey. And it was, I don't know. Kupo is a really special one for me because, like, I will always appreciate how much, like, the Swag Fam community and all the individuals who sent in their stuff, like, you know, we couldn't have gotten here without tons of encouragement, people actually listening to our stuff. Like, you know, you only exist once you're perceived, right? And so, like, having people to actually, like, experience our stuff and, like, give us a reason to do this stuff that isn't just because we like doing it, but also, you know, people listen to it. It's really special. And so I'm really glad we were able to capture their voices in this track along with ours, you know?
Yeah, that's really special. It's like, you know, like you would normally just go into a studio and just, like, do gang vocals, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But this is like the pandemic equivalent of that.
Exactly, yeah.
It is nice to kind of end with something that embodies our community, like BoZ said, you know. And towards the beginning of the album, you have things like Coffee Break and Hunter, which is just like, oh, I'm trying to find myself. I feel kind of lonely. Am I by myself? There's not to say at any point that this is a concept album whatsoever, or that this, to me,
it was a secret concept album all along.
No, to me, this makes sense. And it's nice how you go through then Bananas, and it's like, oh, all these people that we met, and look, now we have community. And it's something that continues to build. And yes, this is Prologue. This is just still kind of the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's nice to go through track by track and see something beautiful start to be built. And so, I mean, it is a Final Fantasy song. I don't have much Final Fantasy experience. I remember I just asked BoZ, I was like, there are so many Final Fantasies. Which one would I like? And he said, play 3. You know, he at this point, he knows my taste in games. So played 3, loved it. And then I said, you know, it'd be cool if Final Fantasy games were co-op. And so then I think after that, the only 2 Final Fantasy games I have played are Final Fantasy Explorers.
Yes!
Fantastic game. And Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, which we had actually done back in college with the actual
like Game Boys and
Game
cables.
Boy splitters.
Yeah.
Like the proper way to do some chronicling.
It was rough.
But it was awesome. And I love janky games. I love not terrible games, but, you know, in all the Final Fantasy games, you're not going to pick out Crystal Chronicles for, you know, your island game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love it because you get to play with friends, and it's an awesome experience. So, like, when I went into writing this song, I'm like, all right, so just so you know, all my references will be Crystal Chronicles references.
We were streaming it at the time too. Yeah.
So like, it's what I knew the best. Yeah, we were streaming at the time. So yeah, all the things that I'm talking about are just straight from Chronicles. But Final Fantasy is nice in the sense that, like, if you know one reference, it's probably going to be in like 15 of the games. You know what I mean? Final Fantasy is beautiful like that. I don't know. It's one of the most fun songs on the album, and it was one of the most fun songs to record and even perform live. Since we have everyone in chat being Kupo.
Yeah.
So it's just one of the best songs to even do virtually. You know, and so the daunting task of creating a recorded version of that and somehow involving the entire community, it was something that we took up, and I think we accomplished it pretty well thanks to everybody else, you know.
Yeah. And then a little bit more like on this beat in particular, like I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. I'm a huge fan of Crisis Core that's like one of my favorite games, one of my soundtracks. And like, so it was cool because like, you know, we were playing Crystal Chronicles on stream, so a lot of that made it into here, but also infused like a bunch of FF7 and Crisis Core references into the lyrics as well. But like, I just remember like a long time ago, because this beat I think is off of Volume 3, one of Cutman's older albums, right? And I remember whether it was 3 or 4, but the point is I just remember listening to this beat and just being like, yo, this beat goes so hard. It might actually be like my favorite Cutman track. Like the drums that he put together for it like complement like the like original composition so well. And like that last section, like when like it's not actually Cosmo Canyon, but like the Cosmo Canyon like melody like comes through a little bit like in that last section. Like I feel like that part has always gotten me so hype. So like it makes me so excited that like we use that end section to like bring in everyone else too. You know, it just it feels cool. It feels cool. Love this one.
Yeah, that theme from Final Fantasy VII is just, it's so touching and so heartfelt, and it's nice that you guys use that as like a vehicle for your big hurrah at the end of the album and just bringing people together. It's it just feels like putting a nice warm hug around the whole album, the whole concept, right? Oh yeah, there it is.
They made it.
Yeah, we made it, folks. We're here. We've finished it. We can just like dust off the crumbs and look forward to our next meal. Speaking of, what is Geekswag cooking up next?
Oh man. So we mentioned before that we got like this system on our channel where if you tune in for long enough and you accumulate enough points, you can redeem a song, and then basically you pick a video game and then we'll do a track over like a remix from that game or something from the soundtrack or just referencing the game or something to that effect, right? And we have a ton of those in the queue right now because we've been prioritizing the album and stuff. So we're gonna be digging into a bunch of those. But at the same time, like, I don't know, for me now that we have music released, I'm kind of like really digging that feeling. So like I personally like I would love to put more music out soon. I would love to record some more stuff. Like there are definitely a few other producers that we've written music over before. You know, we do them in our live shows all the time, and like we want to start reaching out to some of them, see if we can work something out. We also, you know, through this epic VGM community, we know a ton of sick musicians who make beats, who play instruments, who do vocals of their own, you know, whatever it is. Like at this point, like, oh, you know, we did a collab with Fennekin, the guitarist. We did a collab with Sab Irene. It's on our YouTube channel. Yep. And like collabing with them was super duper fun. And so like, I don't know, right now, like, you know, we've got our backlog of tracks to work on. And then I kind of want to collab with more people, release more music, to be honest.
That's where my head's at as well. It seems like community building is kind of at the heart of the act. And so as we meet more and more musicians, even online, even at some of these different festivals, like it makes sense. It makes sense to build upon that. Yeah, that's kind of what our whole identity is community building. So I think so. Everything Boz said, I absolutely agree with. I think on the horizon is, you know, more Twitch involvement, since we have some free time after the album release. You know, we can do some of those requested songs. We can do looking more into another album release, but we don't want to give too much away.
Normality.
just in case, but it'll be normal no matter what.
Normality.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, as I said at the start, you know, you guys have been threatening this album for a while, so I'm glad to see that you were able to come through, bring it to the world, give it to all of us, and of course to celebrate the wonderful community that you've curated as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's been really nice to finally get you on to Let's Listen. Yeah, and I can't wait to do it again when Normality comes out.
Yo, we'll look forward to it. Thanks so much for having us on, man.
It does not
Thanks,
need to be
Josh.
called Normality. I'm just joshing you, but
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Get out of here.
you would be.
All right, okay. Well, no, I'll get out of here. Hey, if you guys want to get out of here, we can all get out of here. We've had enough of my shenanigans. But yeah, thanks so
Never.
much for being on the show tonight, folks. Thank you for supporting with all of your lovely subs and sharing, and just for being here and celebrating Geekswag with us. BoZ ZEN, love you guys. Can't wait to
Love
do
you,
this all
Josh.
again.
Love you too.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
All right, folks. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Let's look at the funk.
Could you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. Could you stop playing with that radio of yours? I'm trying to get to sleep. Could
Let's look at the funk.